Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 10, okay? Meditation and Mediation. This was a sad filler episode, okay? I only got like 2 pages because it was nothing going on. And I can understand why they brought Phaedra in, even though I don't think Phaedra gonna help this season. I don't know, honey. Y'all gonna have to get it together, okay? I, all of these situations seem to be made up, except for Angela. So I don't know. We gonna go with it though. If you're new here, welcome. We do reviews here, okay? All right. And if you are returning, welcome back. All right. All right. Give it a thumbs up. Like, share, and comment, and subscribe to my channel. And we will begin. All right. Oh boy, Kelli down. Okay, so Kelli during her divorce, she had to downsize her big house into this little townhouse, and she said, this townhouse is like a college sorority. They basically all on top of each other. So they gotta do something better. Okay, so she is looking for a house. Okay, Chloe don't want to work. She just want to be a teenager this summer. I don't know if she graduated this year or last year, but whatever the case may be, she want to be a teenager this summer, and she don't want to work. Okay, and but when you give your daughter 17 purses for her 17th birthday, yeah, she ain't gonna want to work. Why? You give her everything. You gave her 17 persons. Yeah. So she probably don't want to work. She just wants you. She just want to, run the streets and have you pay for it. Hey, you probably gonna do it. We don't know. Shamia meets up with Ralph. I don't know what Shamia had on, but she meets up with Ralph for lunch. Okay. And so Ralph, they talking about this podcast. Okay. So apparently Ralph has a podcast with him, Ross, and Todd. Okay. He has some kind of podcast, some Husbands of Atlanta, some mess. And then, so now he wants to do another podcast called Kings and Queens. And he wants Shamia to be a part of it. Whatever. So then she was asking about Drew because, she feel a little uncomfortable because, she is meeting with Ralph on camera, and Drew ain't there. So he was like, we had a whirlwind romance, He proposed at 3 months. He married her at 5 months, and then she got pregnant at 8 months. But he said he don't like the woman she is now. The confident woman that she is now? Is that what you don't like? The woman that got a little more self-esteem, because she ain't had no self-esteem if she married you at 6 months or 5 months, and then she got pregnant. She ain't had no self-esteem back then. So that's what you don't like. But he said he don't like the woman that she is now. She matured. What you want her to do? Just be the same person? Whatever. Because she asked, for a lobster dinner. You said you don't deserve a Lunchable. You want that girl? You want that girl? Oh, okay. All right. I got you. I got you, Ralph. Okay. So he admits that he didn't know her. But she, like I said, he don't like who she's becoming. She becoming Drew, and that's who you don't like. So y'all should just get a divorce and keep it moving. Get share custody of them kids. Either get out the basement and she had a house, or y'all sell the house and split the profits. Okay, whatever the case may be, y'all just need to get a divorce. Okay, I don't understand, and you need to stop stealing her money. Okay, stop that. Stop that. How about that? Okay. So uh so then Ralph said that Dennis reached out to him before, they started working together. And Drew reached out to Porsha too. I don't believe that she did not reach out to Porsha. I don't believe that. I believe she reached out to Porsha, and Porsha gave okay, because she was over there chilling with Simon. That's before all this shit happened. She over there chilling with Simon, so she was like, I don't give a fuck what my baby daddy do. And then all of a sudden, it's a problem now. I believe that she talked to her. Now, when they on camera, all of a sudden it's a problem now. Fuck you. Anyway, Porsha shows up. Speak of the devil. And they start ordering everything off the menu because Ralph is paying. Okay? All right. Then Porsha, and so then Ralph asked, how are you and Drew? And she asked that to Porsha. He said, because y'all was like this. And so she was like, no, we were kind of like this. And so I don't believe that. You had her ambassador of your go naked hair and all the other stuff. No, don't act like y'all wasn't like that or whatever. And so, and then she was like, well, I can forgive her, but she talked about my child. No, she did not talk about your child. Okay? Why the fuck you lying? She did not talk about your child. Porsha said, Drew said that I make so much money I can pay for Polaris College. That is not what she said. Okay? And apparently that's what Shamia told her. Okay? That's what Shamia told her. And so Ralph was like, she said that? Then all I can think about, who said that? Yeah. Who said that? Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, but she didn't say that, period. So then Porsha asked, who filed first? And so he said, I filed first because she had an affair with Ty. And so she was like, that's a rumor. That's a rumor. And then he was like, no, she told me out of her own mouth. So they played that beautiful bean footage. And not one time did she say that she had an affair. Smashed, got intimate. None of these words, none of this came out of her mouth about her with Porsha. None of these comments came out of her mouth. Okay, I mean not Porsha, with Ty. She said that Ty listens to her. Ty laughs at her jokes, and yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said. Not one time did she say that they smashed. Okay, so I don't know what he talking about. I don't know what he talking about. Okay, unless she told him off camera that they smashed, but on camera she just said that she laughs at my jokes, and and she laughs at my jokes, and she listens to her. So then Shamia asked, well, did you cheat? And so, of course, he said, no, I didn't cheat. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Uh-huh. Why the fuck you lying? Mm-hmm. Why the fuck you lying? Because you know you lying. You know you lying. Okay. But that's fine. All right. Y'all get a divorce anyway. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. So Porsha turns to Shamia and said, well, how is your relationship with Drew? So Shamia said, I don't have a beef with Drew, but I keep catching strays because of you. She said, Shamia said, apparently what you eat, I shit, basically. She said, and even Angela, I caught a stray because of you with Angela. So then Porsha was like, well, she wants you. And then Shamia was like, to hold you accountable. She's like, no. She wants you to hold yourself accountable for what you are will allow to being talked about in front of you and what you laugh at. Yeah. She wants to hold yourself accountable, okay? Not me. She wants you to hold yourself accountable for what you allow to be talked about in front of you now, okay? And what you would laugh at. She wants you to hold yourself accountable. So Porsha ain't even on your side when she fucked up. Ooh. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, she ain't even on your side.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
She ain't even on your side. Okay. And then Porsha goes on to say, you just can't say that everybody mad at you because of me. That's not it. Oh, god damn.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Shamia, this writing is on the wall, girl. This is writing on the wall. She ain't even on your side when you taking up for her, or because she said the fucked up shit. Okay, all right. Angela has 5 investment properties that she can't sell because they overpriced. Okay, that's the first thing, they overpriced. And so she got 5 investment properties that she can't sell, and she like $2 million in debt. And so Kelli meets her in one of these investment properties, because Kelly's looking for a house. Okay, so Kelli walked in. She was like, now she said all this in the confessional. She said that the ceilings are low, and I don't know why you need high ceilings anyway. The ceilings, weren't like 10 feet and whatever, but you don't need no high ceilings, baby. You ain't before 11. You ain't before 11, okay? You don't need no high ceilings. But what you do need is a master bedroom with a master closet, because whatever she showed you was not a closet. I don't know what that was. That was just like that didn't even look like a pantry. I don't know what that was. I mean, if you have racks, you only can have rack on one side, because it's like a hallway. And a small hallway there, you can only have a rack on one side. You can't have rack on both sides. So, yeah, you can't deal with that master closet. Okay, no. I'm quite sure your townhouse closet is way bigger than that master bedroom. And she ain't had no water in the pool. It's had some green stuff in there. Yeah, Angela, you got to do better, boo. You got to do better. Okay, if you want these for real, you should build out a closet. I don't know who and what you thought you was gonna do. You should have built out a closet. You ain't gonna sell that property for $3 million. But that's neither here nor there. So then she telling her about this comment about uh Ralph Charles having a side baby. Apparently Charles and Wendy Williams were having a they had a what is it, a event. Both of them put on an event. And so Wendy Williams' husband, Kelvin, her ex-husband, Kelvin, had a side baby on her. That's the reason why they got a divorce. And so Angela was like, well, it was, she said, it's only a baby. And so Wendy was like, have you been through that? Have you been through that? She said, yes, I've been through that. And so she been through that with her oldest daughter's her oldest daughter's father. He had a baby on her, not Charles. Okay, not Charles didn't have a outside baby on her. It was her previous boyfriend. And so I believe her. I believe her. But she said that Charles did have infidelity when they separated for a month, when all this Madison Square Garden stuff was occurring. So then Angela goes on to say that her and Shamia had a private conversation, and Shamia is basically talking about Porsha. And she said that Porsha didn't want her to be a part of this friend group, be a part of the show. So, she basically, she basically didn't want her to be a full-time part of the show, because she always been a part-time part of the show, and she always been Porsha's sidekick. So I think Porsha was a little jealous, a little jelly about her holding the peach now. Hey, whatever. She didn't go to her wedding, but everybody knew that right then. And Shamia don't want to be looked at as Porsha's sidekick. I can understand that. But Kelli in the confessional saying that Shamia shouldn't be talking about Porsha behind her back. And she said Angela should just shut the hell up and mind her business, basically. So we'll see. So then Pistol Grip Brick, okay. better known as Benadryl, better known as Bang Bang Edie, better known. Shout out to Eric and De Niro TV and Rodney Divorce, yeah. But I call it Pistol Grip Brick, okay. She excited about her mom moving in, but she's not excited because she don't want to. They usually walk around naked. We don't give a fuck. We don't care nothing about none of that, and we don't care nothing about you either. Okay, we gonna leave it alone. No, so Pistol Grip was telling Mike about her encounter with Angela. I don't think she said that, she got stretch marks around her mouth, but basically she was just like, she told him about it. And then he was like, well, now mind you, he talking with his mouth full. So I think he said, what did you say? And so she said, well, I told her that her husband had a side baby on her. Yeah. Okay. So he was like, well, if you feel disrespected, then yeah. So he said, maybe y'all can, figure it out. Some mess. I don't care about her and Mike. I really don't care. But Mike is meeting up with her sister. And so Pistol Grip said that her sister likes to play the victim. Oh. So So do you, baby. So do you. That's the pot calling the kettle, honey. Pot calling the kettle. Okay. So do you. So whatever. So Porsha meets with Angela on that same property a different day. Okay. Because Angela learned from Fallon not to invite Porsha to your house. Okay. Because she gonna walk out with your husband and your Hennessy. Your husband and your Hennessy. Okay. Your husband and your Hennessy. Shout out to Rodney the boy. Yeah. So she ain't inviting her to her house. She inviting her to this investment property to play tennis. Okay. So Porsha is throwing a Pampered by Porsha event, and she can't throw it in her house. So she rented a space to throw it at. Okay. Yeah. So Angela tells Porsha what Drew said about Pilar in what Drew said about Pilar. She was like, Dennis will make so much money off her album that he can, pay for Pilar's college. And then she was like, well, Shamia didn't say that. She didn't say that to me like that. I don't care. Nobody cares about none of this. Okay? Nobody. Because we all think it's made up. Everybody thinks it made up. Okay? Nobody cares. So then Angela said, speaking of Shamia, she said that you didn't want her to be a part of this group. Porsha said, I wanted her to be a part of this group, but her husband don't film. And Angela said, well, she feels like it's a lopsided friendship and she don't want to be considered your lapdog. Then Porsha starts to cry. Golly.
Stop fucking crying, bitch! Where? I don't want to fucking hear it.
Right. Exactly. She started to cry. That's her MO. And, so when she don't want to talk about it, when she want to try to get out of shit and whatever, that's her MO. So she starts to cry and then she walk off. Whatever. Okay. I don't believe none of it. So Angela tells Drew, and Kelli was there too, but she tells Drew on a separate occasion that apparently Porsha is going around showing this text that is saying that that Drew sent to Dennis that Dennis sent to Drew saying that I don't want to fuck, I just want payment, something like that. It's something that was misconstrued and taken out of the context, and so she's showing all these people. So Angela told Drew. Drew was like, "That's asinine." No. She was like, I'm not sleeping. I'm not trying to sleep with him. Period. But I'm definitely not trying to sleep with him to pay off my studio time. It's all stupid. Oh my God, it's stupid. That's the reason why they brought Phaedra, and I don't think Phaedra is going to help any at all. She's just gonna get into the mess with Porsha, and this season is going straight downhill. Okay, straight downhill, and the ratings show it. The ratings show it. Okay. Anyway, this is Pampered by Porsha event. Now it was on July 13th, and Lundy, R.I.P. to Lundy, She passed away August 7th. So she didn't even know she had a month. She had less than a month to live. And I'm like, oh my God. And we still don't know why she died, because they said natural causes at 34. But I don't know. I don't know. Bless her heart. So Kelli and Pistol Grip is riding together, and until their friendship is going south, okay? But they riding together. Um, Pistol Grip tells Kelli that Mike is meeting up with Cher. So Mike meets up with Cher. And so Cher was like, and this is paraphrasing, you make me uncomfortable. She said that she felt like Pistol Grip gotta get permission from you to do anything. Then Mike gonna say, no, I'm not a controlling man, so she don't have to get permission from me. Wasn't that you blowing up her phone when she met with Cher last time? Wasn't that you blowing up her phone, calling every 5 minutes? Wasn't that you? I think you are controlling. I think you are controlling. I think it's the lavender marriage anyway, allegedly. But I think you are controlling. So yeah. So yeah. She got to get permission. And then, and Pistol Grip, she got low self-esteem too. She was just like, I want my family, but my family ain't gonna keep me warm at night. Girl, you got low self-esteem too. You just want a husband. You don't even care if he gay. Ooh, I'm sorry. Allegedly, okay. you just want somebody to call a husband. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. You just want to say my husband, my husband, my husband. That ain't a flex, boo. That's not a flex. Since your husband ain't I'll put that. I'm leaving that alone. Them shut up. Anyway, so everybody arrives. They eat. They get massages. Take pictures. Drew was like, "Are we getting paid for this? Is this a Pampered by Porsha event as far as commercials and pictures on for Instagram and whatever?" She was like, "We getting paid for this?" And I totally agree. I totally agree, because she had her little sheets up there, and they taking pictures, and she put her sheets out, So I don't know, don't care, okay. So then Kelli takes Shamia aside. Kelly's talking about Drew saying that Shamia, Kelly's lap dog. Portia's lap dog. And so then Kelli goes on to say that Porsha was in tears, and she was like, "Well, what was she crying about?" Because Angela's saying that you up Portia's ass. I don't know. That was all confusing to me. Well, first of all, why she crying? And I don't know. That was all confusing, and honestly and truly, I don't really care. So Lauren does meditation and yoga, all right, and then they lay back. And they supposed to close their eyes, but Shamia don't lay back because she tired of Portia's bullshit. Okay, so Kelli walks over there with her ass out. Okay, walks over there to her, and so she was like, she said, "Well, why you not laying back and stuff?" She was like, she said, "Well, they said if you feel comfortable, lay back." She said, "I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel at peace." And then Porsha shushes them. Shh, shh, whatever. And then Kelli told Shamia that Angela told Porsha everything that you said about her. So this conversation with Porsha and Shamia is paraphrased because it was actually stupid and I really didn't care. So we're gonna paraphrase it. Okay, so Porsha says, talk to Angela, and she said that I'm a bad friend and I make her sad. Okay. Shamia said, don't talk behind my back. And no, she said, I don't talk about you behind your back. And I stick up for you. I stick up for you, you know, every time somebody says something bad about you. And then Porsha was like, well, you said that I didn't want you on the show. And Shamia said, no, you showed me the receipt of how you wanted me to be on the show. And I said everything, so I say everything to you. And whatever I say about you to these other girls, I've already said it to you. Okay, so I'm not talking about you behind your back. That's what she said. Well, that was the paraphrase. That's what I got out of it. Okay, so then, Angela said, Shamia, no, Pistol Grip already said, let it out, Shamia, let it out. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing about her. Then Angela said, Shamia, let it out, girl. She was like, and she said, but I didn't even know about the wedding. And everybody was like, I don't know how you didn't know about the wedding. But Porsha was like, well, we were not in a good place before the wedding. And Shamia was like, I ain't know we wasn't in a good place. You told me that you couldn't sit that long on a flight. So that's the reason why you didn't make it. You ain't say I ain't know nothing about us not being in a good place. But Porsha said we weren't in a good. Porsha said we wasn't in a good place. That's the reason why she ain't go. And so, but Shamia was like, I didn't know we wasn't in a good place. I was okay with you, basically. So then she was like, so Porsha was like, well, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. I attended your wedding in Atlanta. She was like, and I even bought you a wedding gift.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Yeah, Shamia, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect. So then Shamia starts to cry. Okay. She said, I will never allow anybody to talk bad about you behind, in our friendship. But apparently in our friendship is not reciprocated. Okay. So Porsha will allow people talking bad about her. But Shamia won't allow people to talk bad about Porsha. And so Porsha was like, well, thank you for your grace. And Shamia was like, that's very sarcastic. And then she was just like, well, I can't win. I'm a piece of shit. And it's cool. And you are. You are a piece of shit. Okay? And a hoe. Okay? And a hoe. And a piece of shit and a hoe. Hey. It is what it is. It is what it is. Ding ding. You a piece, huh? You a piece of shit and a hoe. It's okay. It's all right. But anyway, that was it. This was a stupid episode. This was a filler episode, and I don't know what they're gonna do about the rest of this season. Cause the trailer didn't look like nothing. None of this looks like nothing. So I understand why they brought Bob Frazier to try to help this season, but I don't think it's gonna help at all. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what y'all gonna do with this season, but whatever. Anyway, give me a thumbs up. like, share, and subscribe, and comment to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.